Welcome to this short video summary of Bob Cochran's second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Towards Mastery. If you find the material interesting, much greater detail may be found within the book, which is available on Amazon.com in either paperback or e-reader form. Let's get started. Book Summary, Surfing to the Future. After journeying through 13 chapters of consciousness expansion, quantum possibilities, and hyperdimensional realities, we arrive at a profound recognition. You didn't incarnate during this time period by accident. According to Cochran's framework, every soul currently on Earth specifically chose to be here during what may be the most significant transformation in human history, not as passive observers, but as active participants in humanity's greatest evolutionary leap. The material we've explored isn't merely intellectual theory or spiritual speculation. It's a practical manual for navigating a reality that's becoming increasingly responsive to consciousness, where thoughts literally shape outcomes and where the old rules of separation and scarcity are giving way to new principles of interconnection and abundance. We stand at a crossroads where the choices made by individuals like you will determine whether our collective humanity ascends to its next evolutionary phase or remains trapped in cycles of fear and limitation. The choice that changes everything. Throughout these chapters, one theme emerges with crystal clarity. Every moment presents a fundamental choice between love and fear, between expansion and contraction, between separation and oneness. These aren't just philosophical preferences, they're literally votes for which version of reality you want to experience and help create for everyone else. When you choose compassion over judgment, you're not just being nice, you're activating what Cochran describes as the universe's fundamental operating frequency. When you practice forgiveness, you're not just releasing personal grievances, you're debugging the collective programming that keeps humanity trapped in cycles of conflict. When you cultivate joy regardless of external circumstances, you're not just improving your mood, you're anchoring higher dimensional energies that make elevated experiences possible for others. The ripple effects are exponential. Cochran's research suggests that one person operating from coherent heart-mind integration has more positive influence than millions operating from fear-based reactivity. This means that your personal evolution isn't selfish. It's one of the most generous gifts you can offer a world in desperate need of upgraded consciousness. Beyond the illusion of powerlessness. Perhaps the most liberating insight from this material is the recognition that the feelings of powerlessness and limitation that plague so many people aren't accurate reflections of human capacity. They're shadows, forgotten abilities. You are not a helpless biological machine at the mercy of random forces. You are, in Cochran's words, consciousness, temporarily using a body to explore dense physical reality, equipped with hyperdimensional capabilities that most haven't even begun to access. The evidence is overwhelming. Spontaneous healings, verified remote viewing, documented cases of consciousness affecting matter, and the increasingly powerful placebo effect all point to the same conclusion. Human consciousness can influence physical reality in ways that transcend conventional scientific understanding. The question isn't whether these abilities exist, it's whether you're ready to develop and responsibly use them. This shift from powerlessness to empowerment requires what Cochran calls sovereignty of mind, taking full training wheels off, responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, and energy contributions to the collective field. It means recognizing that every grievance you hold, every fear you entertain, and every judgment you make isn't just affecting you. It's influencing the quantum field of possibilities for everyone on the planet. The emerging world. What we're moving toward. The future Cochran envisions isn't a utopian fantasy, but a natural outcome of humanity remembering its true nature. As more people activate their hyperdimensional capabilities and operate from heart-centered consciousness, we'll see the emergence of what he calls compassionate cooperation, a way of organizing society that honors both individual sovereignty, diversity, and collective well-being. Technology may evolve from external tools to consciousness sensing capabilities. Healing will shift from brute force chemical interventions to energy medicine and intention-based template therapies. education will expand from outside-in information transfer to inside-out wisdom activation. Governance will transform from fear-based control systems to service-oriented structures that support human flourishing rather than encouraging and managing human limitation. This isn't about creating a perfect world where challenges disappear, but rather about developing the consciousness capable of meeting any challenge with wisdom, creativity, and love. It's about transitioning from a civilization based on scarcity and competition to one founded on abundance and collaboration. Your role in humanity's greatest adventure? The invitation becomes clear. You can either be a passive observer of humanity's transformation or an active co-creator of the emerging paradigm. The skills Cochran describes, energy management, timeline navigation, reality manifestation, and hyperdimensional awareness, aren't reserved for special people with unique gifts. They're the birthright capabilities of every human being, waiting to be remembered and developed. The path forward requires courage, the courage to question everything you've been told about human limitation, the courage to trust your intuitive knowing over external narratives and authority, and to act from love even when fear seems more practical. It requires dedication, the daily practice of meditation, forgiveness, and consciousness cultivation that builds the internal coherence necessary for accessing higher dimensional abilities. Most importantly, it requires faith, not blind belief, but what Cochran describes as the ability to observe as tangible that which is still just potential in the quantum field. This is the faith that allows you to see beyond current appearances, to the magnificent possibilities waiting to be actualized through conscious participation. The time is now. The cosmic energies catalyzing and supporting this transformation are already here. The technological tools that will make deception impossible are now being developed. The critical mass of awakened individuals needed to tip the planetary consciousness is either already here or soon to be here. The only question remaining is whether you'll step fully into your role as a hyperdimensional being, consciously participating in humanity's evolution, or continue pretending to be limited while the greatest show in the cosmos unfolds around you. The choice, as always, is yours. But remember, in a quantum universe where consciousness creates reality, your choice doesn't just affect your personal experience. It contributes to the collective outcome for all of humanity. The future is quite literally in your hands, shaped by your thoughts, powered by your heart, and manifested through your conscious participation in the greatest adventure our species has ever undertaken. What will it be? I hope you've enjoyed this video summary series. For more information on Bob Cochran's first book, Hyperdimensional You, a time-traveling note to self from the corner of science and spirituality, or his second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Toward Mastery, check out Clever, the number2wise.com, that's clever2wise.com, or on Facebook, #Clever2Wise. Feel free to also subscribe and like on Bob's YouTube channel, which can be located by way of the handle at Clever2Wise.